Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today on a Victory Monday. We normally take a little bit more time for the week to breathe before going right into the next 49er video. But we're planning on a short week this week. The San Francisco 49ers going to be hosting the New York Giants. The Giants currently 1-1, while the 49ers sit up at 2-0. First of all, before we get off to anything, we got two more games going tonight. Two Monday night games going to be on ESPN, and I believe ESPN2, because of the writer's strike for the people that are, not able to get cable television still in the world today. I talked a little bit about the people complaining about not being able to watch the prime football games on Thursday. I ran into people complaining that they're not able to watch the games on ESPN. I believe it's ABC, a Disney company with ESPN, are now going to be carrying all of the Monday Night Football games because of the writer's strike. They're going to be airing them since they don't have any other television to put on. Biggest news of the football world today has to do with the New York Giants. Saquon Barkley, during the big comeback in the Arizona Cardinal game yesterday, was injured. People were wondering how bad the injury was. The report that I read today is that it is a normal ankle sprain that is going to be sidelining Saquon Barkley for 3 weeks. This honestly is good news for the 49ers because I don't even know another running back on the New York Giants. I don't know who's going to be back there for them, but the one thing that makes me think of anything is, how Brock Purdy took the league by storm. Sometimes it's just somebody you don't know who they're going to be that comes out and just flat out surprises you. So there's a lot of people basically saying that the Giants are going to be weakened because of this injury. They're only going to be having Daniel Jones and their number one receiver, Darren Waller, who came over from the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a friend of Jerry, man, so I'm a fan of his. He pretty much is the number one receiver on that team. The only guy to really throw to. That's why a lot of people thought that Odell was going to go back and play for them to kind of finish out that last leg of his career. I don't know. The one thing I can take is that when I woke up and I saw that Cam Akers wasn't playing on Sunday, I can honestly tell you that I think I took the Rams game on Sunday for granted a little bit. I didn't realize that we were going to have to really go out and grind that game out and come from behind. I thought the Rams were going to be a team that, basically we could just get a lead on and then just lean on them the rest of the game and just take advantage of that. And that's kind of what we did with the early McCaffrey touchdown. But they came back on us enough that we had to tie the game to go into halftime and then come from behind to get it. I mean, that game was a lot closer than its final score. There was definitely times that I was wondering what it would be like to get those texts from my friends, basically with the Niners dropping that game and being 1-1 after being a strong number one favorite for the Super Bowl this season. That would have sucked, but that is the NFL. You don't really have teams go 17-0 and win the whole thing and call it a day. A story that I'm looking to see more news on that we haven't heard anything on yet is how hurt Brandon Ayuk is. I'm safe to say that, I just said that let's not take them for granted. Anybody that can play, I think, needs to be out there. I wouldn't mind if we sat Brandon Ayuk 1 week, especially coming off the short week. He could take all of next week as well to recoup and get ready. You are playing on a short week, but it is like getting a bye a little bit for the next week. So that'd be an early injury to rest, and instead of having a nagging injury that lasts throughout the season, Let's just get him back up to par. He's, one of the best number 2 receivers in the league, and we need to have him out there. One of my favorite guys on the team, Juan Jennings, will just have to step up and fill that hole. We have a few other young receivers that we always have. Let's see one of them step up and see what they can do to fill it in for you. Nick Bosa probably didn't have a great week last week. It was kind of like what a lot of people said that was going to happen to him. It was just basically the guys on the defensive line. We've seen this before. They can sit out. They can wait out all the way until the start of the regular season. They can go out there. They can play a number 1 game. But it's kind of like, there's difference between conditioning and actually playing football. And I think he's, a big enough guy. He can get in there. He can hit. He can move around, but he didn't really. I'm not going to say he really didn't do anything, because I'm sure when you have Nick Bosa on that line, especially when you have, the other weapons that we have out there as well, Drake Jackson and his fellow friends. I saw even Fred Warner came in and he got that huge pop and sack. But, he's probably getting doubled a little bit here and there. So I'm not just going to say he didn't do anything. But he really didn't make his impact as he does in a lot of other games. And I think a little bit of it is just getting his footing, and just getting his feet underneath him. Just running that thing the whole game. He didn't really have the snap count he did the week before, so I think it's just a matter of just getting him out there and just getting going. The guy's a fighter. If he's going to be on anybody's sideline, I want him on ours, so I'm glad he's in there. And you're not really going to hear much complaints about, Bosa being on your team. We just got to get him into the thick of things. Of course, missing the preseason as well as missing, training camp. That's the reason why they do it. It is what it is. Elijah Mitchell, where are you at? I honestly thought I didn't even see him on the field the entire game. I was thinking maybe he had some sort of an injury. The only thing I basically saw was Coach stepped up and said that he was sorry. It wasn't the game plan to basically have McCaffrey carry the load and play the entire game, but it's just the way it happened. I think anybody who has owned McCaffrey in a fantasy league throughout his years with the Panthers, he's a threat. He's a real big option. I'm glad that he's a Niner. I hope he's a Niner for years to come. But he gets injured, and that's just the way it is. You want to have him out there on the field, honestly, as much as possible. Elijah Mitchell is probably a top-notch backup running back to have in your number 2 slot. But let's see if we can, give McCaffrey some plays off and get Mitchell into the thick of things. I think he only had 5 rushes in the first game. I would love to see, him. I'm not saying get him 10, get him 20. I'm just saying, just get him into the thick of things. Obviously, you want to have the ball in McCaffrey's hands as much as possible. But a guy like Elijah Mitchell was able to prove through his rookie campaign that he's not no slouch in the back of things. So this should be a game the Niners are able to win. I'll tell you the one thing. I wasn't watching the game, but I was following it on Twitter as well as the NFL game breaks. The Giants had one hell of a comeback. You can say what you want to say about giving up so many points to the Arizona Cardinals, a team that a lot of think is the worst team in the league. But to be able to huddle up your team and be like, what the fuck are we doing? We got to get out there and we got to play, and then come back from, I believe, 26 points to basically not let them score anymore and score enough points to win that game. That's great. That's balls. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. I mean, I would take that any day of the week from any team. As much as it sucks to watch that beginning part of the game, I mean, that's why you play until the end. The game's not over until, they basically push you into the locker room and say, hey, we got to pack up and we got to go. Get on the bus. They played a game against the Cowboys. That one wasn't the best Giants day. I'm not going to take the Giants for granted out there. I'm going to tell you, the Giants signed Daniel Jones that I believe close to $30 million deal. They only gave Saquon 10. A lot of people thought that was kind of a slight, but the story is, they don't really want to pay running backs because they feel that there are special ones out there, but every running back in the league is a ticking time bomb of, when is this guy going to be done? You don't want to be wasting your money, and it just seems like anybody can run the ball. That's the reason why they gave him 10. The ankle injury is going to take him out 3 games of the 17-week season, and we're going to have to see where they are from there. But I think this is the game the Niners can win. I'm pumped to see it, and Thursday night, I guarantee you that much, I'll be sitting on my couch. Peace out, guys. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight as we're talking about the San Francisco 49ers win over the New York Giants in Week 3. Full disclosure, before we get going, I did not watch this game in whole. I was at the Jason Aldean concert here in Sacramento. They actually call it Wheatland, where the concert was. We drive out to this amphitheater out in the middle of nowhere. It's honestly about an hour away. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to go to a concert. But I will tell you the truth, that I was getting pumped up for the Niner game before I put the dates together, and it was like, oh shoot, the Niners are going to be on Thursday Night Football, the same time that the Jason Aldean concert is, and I'm not going to be able to fully watch this game. I think that it's really cool, the place that we are in 2023, with smartphones, Amazon Prime, this, that, and the other. 10 years ago, it would just have to be you're going to the Jason Aldean concert. You're going to have to basically follow texts, follow tweets, maybe look at Facebook to see, and not even highlights, but to see like pictures of the game or just text, 49ers score touchdown. But it didn't matter whether we were sitting in the parking lot before we went into the concert, or if we were sitting on the lawn waiting for the concert to start. Everybody was in the loop of what was going down. And I knew that when we got to the concert, when we were sitting in the car, before we walked in, the score was 3-3. The Giants and the Niners had traded early field goals. But I thought it was really cool. Like once the set started going, the first act came out, they played. It was kind of like nobody was checking it out and seeing what was going on. And then the second that guy set ended, like somebody had their phone out, and we were kind of passing it around, talking between football fans about what had happened. There was even at one point after the second act, the Niners had a lead, and I think that was right on the play that Deebo Samuel, he caught the pass, and he was kind of like yards after the catch, driving down the field, and it seemed like 7 guys to tackle him. And then once actually got him down, he stayed down on the ground, and it was kind of like the buzz that was circling around was like, Deebo's hurt, Deebo's down. We didn't know if maybe he had some sort of an injury, maybe he had just like the wind broken out of him, and we were all kind of buzzing about each other. I was pumping up my boy Juan Jennings, and like, Jennings is still out there. Just throw the ball to Jennings. I know they've probably got 3 young guys that they drafted, they brought in that can run routes. They might not be catching balls a ton, but they're there for a reason. We're gonna be all right. Brock Purdy, is dumping the ball off to Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. We'll still be able to move the ball downfield. I still believe in this offense. And, as we're still, buzzing about what we think is going on with Deebo catches a touchdown in the end zone. It was like, hey, I guess Deebo's back. I guess we're good. It was not the best situation to watch a game. But I think it was a fun situation, one that I hope I'm not in again. But you realize that you're like, a phone's battery only lasts so long. But if you got battery time, you can be anywhere and follow along with what's going on out there. But a fun night. Niners win. move on to 3-0. Brock Purdy is now 9-0 as a starter in the regular season. The Niners, they seem like the most set team in the league. I think everybody gives this team respect. They're fast. They play defense. They hit hard. They've got a lot of weapons that you got to really find a way to be able to shut down. And there's no way that if you're like, all right, if we can contain this, we're going to set ourselves up. If you contain this, you're leaving this open. No one's been able to really find a way to break it down. And I think the only way that's really going to stop this team is to the team stops playing, team football, or either that or just injuries hit us out. I think it was good that we gave Brandon Ayuk the night off. He didn't have any major shoulder problems, but if it's bothering him now, just give him the rest that once he comes back, we got a week and a half before we play football again. We're going to be all right. The story of the night was, that Brock Purdy didn't start out strong, but he found a way to get it done. Won the football game 30-12. They were able to win without one of their weapons, Brandon Ayuk. And I think we have a respect from a lot of people in this league. Brock was 310 yards with 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey ran the ball for 85 yards. Elijah Mitchell got back into the offense, 11 carries with 42 yards. Debo carried the load with one of his touchdowns, 129 yards on 6 receptions. Kittle was almost there with 90 himself. Damn good football team, and I'm freaking stacked on this team. I'm upset that on Sunday we're not going to be playing, but come week 4 on the 1st, we're going to be playing against the Cardinals. And hey, as long as we don't do what this Giants team did against them and let them get up early, I think we're going to be good. We can't look at them lightly and think that they're just the Cardinals. More like they're going to be 0-3, because I've seen a lot of Cardinal teams sneak up on us even when they don't even have the starting quarterback, and I don't want to be in that situation. So let's see what goes down. Looking forward to it. Big win, 3-0. Let's keep rolling.